Hi and welcome to the Enenglishhub channel. Are you intrigued by phrases like had been reading or has been going? Today we delve into the world of perfect continuous tenses, beginning with the past perfect continuous tense. This linguistic tool is used to depict actions that continued for a duration before another past moment. Let's explore. The structure of an affirmative sentence in this tense is subject plus had been plus present participle, such as I had been studying. Now, to create a negative statement, we rearrange to subject plus had not been plus present participle, like I hadn't been studying. For questions, we tweak the arrangement to had plus subject plus been plus present participle. For example, had I been studying? The past perfect continuous tense vividly illustrates past actions stretched over a duration. For example, I had been working on the project for continuous hours before your call. Or she had for several years prior to relocating to Madrid. When these actions were not in progress, we use the negative form, like I hadn't been practicing my piano skills before the concert. Or he hadn't been exercising regularly before his gym membership. For the inquisitive ones, you can construct questions like, had you been studying when power cut occurred? Or, had she been working on the novel before clinching the publishing contract? To master this tense, remember, it's about the duration of the action. Words like before or when can help establish the time relationship. Practice with various verbs for better understanding. And there you have it, the past. Perfect continuous tense, unraveled and explained. It's a method to enrich your narratives by highlighting the continuity of past actions. It's time for you to practice and attain perfection. Moving on to the next tense, we have the present perfect continuous. You may have heard phrases like, I have been waiting. That's our starting point. The present perfect continuous is a fascinating tense and a critical component of our language repertoire. It is used to denote actions or situations with origins in the past, sustained in the present, and possibly extending into the future, like a marathon runner signifying the continuance and extent of an activity. The structure of this tense is interesting. For affirmative statements, we use the subject, followed by have has been, and then the present participle of the verb. This creates a tense that connects the and present. Take I have been studying as an example. It depicts an action that started in the past and continues presently. The construction of negative sentences involves the addition of not after the have or has. Hence, I have been studying changes into I haven't been studying. This sentence exhibits an action not currently happening. Questions in this tense start with have or has, followed by the subject been and the present participle of the verb. For example, have I been studying? This question inquires about the duration of an action. Now let's see how it's used in different scenarios. In positive form, she has been reading that book all day. This sentence implies the action started in the past, continues now, and may extend into future. In negative form, they haven't been living here for long. This suggests an action that started earlier, but hasn't been ongoing for a significant duration. In question form, have you been waiting long? The question concerns the duration of waiting from past to present. The key to effectively utilizing this tense is to emphasize the duration of the action. Use since or for to signify time. Practice makes perfect, and this holds true for this tense as well. Remember, different verbs give different senses of duration, so keep practicing and learning. Great job. Now you understand the present perfect continuous tense. Remember, practice makes perfect. Last but not least, let's venture into the future with the future perfect continuous tense. This complex tense enables us to express a continuing future action. It's like a language time machine, taking us forward to future scenarios not yet occurred. Now, let's examine its structure. In the affirmative form, the future perfect continuous tense follows this formula. Subject plus will have been plus present participle. For instance, by the time you arrive, I will have been working on this for an hour. Here, the action working on this begins in the future, continues for an hour, and is still ongoing when you arrive. Similarly, we can form negative sentences by inserting not after will. The structure becomes subject plus will not, won't, have been plus present participle. For example, in 5 years they won't have been living here for 20 years. This sentence suggests that the act of living here will continue into the future but won't reach the 20-year mark in 5 years' time. To create questions, we exchange the positions of will and the subject, resulting in will plus subject plus have been plus present participle. For example, will you have been working on this project weeks by the due date? Now let's explore some tips to use this tense effectively. Firstly, the future perfect continuous tense emphasizes the ongoing nature of a future action. Secondly, it often coincides with time expressions such as for, since, by the time, and so on. And finally, like any other grammatical rule, practice matters. Experiment with this tense in different sentences, grasp its nuances. The future perfect continuous tense might seem difficult initially, but don't let that deter you. With consistent practice and use, you'll master it. Imagine yourself a year from now, confidently saying, "I will have been speaking English fluently for a year." In conclusion, great job. Now you've got a grip on the future perfect continuous tense. Keep practicing, and soon you'll be an expert. You've done an amazing job understanding these complex tenses. Now let's recap. We started with the past perfect continuous tense, implying a past ongoing action. The present perfect continuous tense was next. For situations that span past, present, and future, we concluded future perfect continuous tense, denoting an action continuing until a future moment. These tenses bring depth to our communication. With practice, they will embed in your verbal toolbox. Practice enables language proficiency. Hence, apply these tenses in your daily talks. Don't forget to subscribe. This helps you stay updated our future sessions aimed at enhancing your language skills. Language learning is a long journey, but each step brings you closer to your goal. Fluency in a language isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. So keep moving and watch your language skills flourish. Thank you for today. Recall, practice is crucial in mastering tenses. Until next time, keep practicing and enjoy learning.